Hello friends, this is another video where I'll be discussing about health issues. I'm not a medical professional as I've already said in one of the previous videos, but I think that these topics need to be discussed and maybe I am capable enough to discuss these topics. So today's topic is simple health issues, health problems and their simple solutions, and if you ignore them, if you overlook them, how they can become big and make your life a big mess, make you lose a lot, make you lose mental peace, make you lose money and even your family. So this topic is really important, and I urge you to please listen to my talk and try to understand what I'm trying to convey. Yeah, let's get started with the topic. The topic for today is how these simple problems like blood pressure, blood sugar, and acidity, any imbalance in these things, can hamper your lifestyle. Though they look very simple problems, when you go to a doctor, the doctor would be prescribing you some simple medications, and he or she will ask you to take them maybe in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night, or whatever times may be. But the doctor typically doesn't tell you how severe it can go, how severe it can become if you overlook them. Moreover, the doctors also do not tell you what you should do to come over it, get out of that problem. Why does that happen? This happens typically because our medical facilities are quite overloaded. The amount of medical professionals we have and the population of around 140 crores today that India has, there is a huge imbalance in that. And our doctors don't really have any time to discuss these aspects with the patients they come across. So typically they just quickly prescribe and tell you to take these medicines. Moreover, they even ask that you go to the medicine center and there you ask when to take the medicines. They don't even bother to tell you when exactly to take the medicines. They just prescribe you something and they just leave you with that. It happens in maybe 90% of the cases, and certainly there are good medical professionals who take the responsibility to uh, discuss this with their patients and make them aware. This, I appreciate them. However, I also don't criticize the other doctors who don't really do this, because they are also occupied in their own manner. I mean, they cannot just spend 10 minutes every day explaining each and every patient about the same thing. It is the patient's responsibility to a great extent that they learn about it and they improve their lifestyle and they find out what is happening to them, why it is happening to them, if at all something is happening. So it is their responsibility. So let's think about this overlooking aspect. Suppose somebody is suffering with high blood pressure. What does high blood pressure really mean? High blood pressure happens when your blood pathways get narrowed down. How do they get narrowed down? When there is extra amount of cholesterol in your body, it just goes into those pathways where blood passes through, and there it kind of corrodes it. So the amount of space the blood has to flow through, the size of the tunnel reduces. Since the heart is pumping the blood at the same rate, the pressure of the blood vessel, the blood pipe, increases. So this is essentially blood pressure. This can cause brain stroke, this can cause heart attack, this can cause several other issues as well. So what do these small problems do? If you overlook them for a reasonably long time, they keep on piling up, like they keep intensifying themselves, and eventually they blast like a bomb. This is what happens. So let me give you an example. How does a brain stroke happen? So initially you find that you have a slightly high amount of cholesterol and some other issues, and because of that the doctor has observed that you have high blood pressure and he prescribes you some medicines. Now you don't really bother about it and you don't eat those medicines regularly, or you don't work on improving your cholesterol levels, reducing your cholesterol levels. Neither you live an active lifestyle. So what happens? then the blood pressure level keeps going up. Why does it go? Because the cholesterol keeps piling up and it starts to block the flow. It comes in the way of the blood flow. So the blood flow gets restricted, but the heart keeps pumping the blood in the same manner, the way it was doing earlier when you were perfectly healthy. Now what happens? The pressure in your body, in the entire pipeline that is there inside your body, that delivers the nutritions and blood to all the portions of the body, is under pressure. This is essentially blood pressure. At certain point of time, when this blood pressure surpasses a level, some nerves tend to break. They leak out the blood, and the natural property of blood, when there is a wound, it tries to cover up or by clotting, so that the blood flow just continues and it doesn't keep flowing outward outside of your body. The same thing happens inside your brain as well. Because of that, what happens is some portion of your brain does not receive the nutrition that it was supposed to receive. The nutrition includes oxygen, there are some other proteins, there are some other hormones that are released onto your body, and they need to reach some portions of your brain so that you have your sensations going on. So this gets hampered. What happens after that? You lose control of some parts of your body. Suppose there is a right brain hemorrhage, you lose the control of left body parts. And if it's a severe hemorrhage, you totally lose the control. If it's a mild stroke, then you might have lesser strength on the left side of your body if it is a right stroke. And not just this, if you overlook, say, blood sugar levels, high blood sugar levels, then there will be hyperglucemia, something like that. I forgot the name of the problem. But when there is high blood sugar in your body, it will lead to eye damage. Your eyes will get damaged. Your kidney will also get damaged. There are so many severe issues that can pop out of it. Suppose you have a stroke and you get admitted in the hospital and you're getting treated. There was an operation or surgery that happened onto your brain. You got admitted, you got transferred to that maybe where all the patients are kept. And then there is a high probability that you will also gather some infections from around the ambience of this hospital as well. So there are so many invitations that you're giving to so many problems. So why do you do this? You don't do this. What to do then? How do you not get into this kind of a trouble? What you should do is, you mean somebody who is suffering from these problems, or somebody whose relatives, maybe father, mother, maybe grandfather, maybe anybody whosoever is an elder member of the family who don't know how to take care of themselves, then you, the younger fellow, you should take care of them. You should always keep monitoring the BP and sugar. The first thing to do is to visit a doctor every month, get yourself checked, check if the BP and sugar levels are all right. If they're all right, well and good. If they're not, then change your medications. Even don't ignore acidity like problems. Acidity is a small problem, but again, it can also lead to so many stomach problems. So then the next thing that I'm about to discuss is, so who is to blame, who is to be held responsible? uh, of course, if it is the parents of the age of 50 and 60 or 40, something like that, and they are not so well aware of how to take care of their physical fitness, how to maintain physical fitness, then their children should come forward and they should take care of their parents. But having said that, in today's world we work very remotely. Like my parents are staying somewhere in Odisha, somewhere in the southernmost part of Odisha, and I am staying in Telangana. I am like around 900 kilometers apart from them. So it is not possible for me to monitor them every day in person. All I can do is I can ask them that you should check yourself, that you should get yourself checked. Yeah, I strongly suggest one thing to most of the children or most of the family, younger members of the family, that you do keep each one from a BP measuring machine and a blood sugar measuring machine with you or with your family, so that blood sugar and the blood pressure can be measured at any point of time when there is a need. So this is what I have also done. I have asked my parents to keep checking, and they do it quite often. Moreover, I think that health is the greatest wealth one can ever have. We human beings are very lucky that we are born. We have so many sensories, like we can smell, we can see, we can hear, we can walk, we can do so many things, we can innovate, right? So our health is the core part of it. If our health is not good, then we cannot do anything, right? So health is the greatest wealth that we can have. So let's be responsible of our health and let's take care of ourselves on our own. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, when I'm talking about parents, any parent would not want their kid to suffer because of their ignorance of their health. Because a parent ignored their health, a kid suffers, right? For example, I can give you my story. I'll discuss my story a bit. What happened is, in the early January, I was back to Hyderabad from Kanpur. I was doing some work in Kanpur, then I came back to Hyderabad. Then I had some paperwork going on. I planned to go home, but I couldn't go home because there was a lot of paperwork happening. So during that phase, my father missed me a lot. There was some personal family tension also going on in the family. My father has also been suffering from BP and sugar for more than a decade. My mother is also diagnosed with BP and sugar. Again, she's also taking medicines for quite a long time. I often used to ask them, almost every week, if you look at, I used to ask them at least 3 times a week, that have you checked your blood sugar? Have you checked your blood pressure? Is it all right? Are you feeling all right? If there is a problem, then go to the doctor, or else tell me at least so that I could make some arrangement. I often used to do that. However, during this period, I somehow maybe missed a bit, or my father had, my father himself missed a bit of this maybe. And one more thing that my father used to do is, my father had this bad habit of kind of playing with medicines. It's not like playing with medicines. He was thinking, or he used to think, that if he takes the medicines for 1 month or say 15 days, the BP problem is cured, which is not the case. BP is kind of a long term problem which doesn't get cured in a day or in a week or in a month or even a few months. It's very unlikely that it will get cured in a few months. Same thing is true about blood sugar also. If once it comes, it stays for really long. You need to really do a lot to get out of it. So that's why also many doctors don't speak about it. If you go to a doctor, they'll just give you pills, they'll ask you to eat, that's it. They won't tell you how to get out of it. They won't tell you what would be the consequences if you don't take those medicines regularly, because they are busy themselves. Now, because of this bad practice of switching to Ayurvedic medicine, switching to homeopathy, and one again coming back to allopathy, this bad habit caused my father's blood pressure to fluctuate a lot. And there was a lot of family tension also going on during that phase. My father was kind of not so responsible about his health. So because of that, he suffered a stroke. And it was literally a big bomb that got blasted in our home. My mother is a patient of BP and sugar. I am the only child of my parents. I am staying in Hyderabad. So it's me who is the guy who has to take care. Now I went immediately there, and luckily my father's other teaching staff, like my father is a teacher, so when he was working in the school, when he was during the lunch break, he had this stroke. So the other staff members just saw him having this problem, and they immediately brought to the hospital. And when a stroke happens, the best treatment or best solution that can happen to any stroke patient is that he or she should be immediately brought to the hospital and immediate medical attention should be given to him, should be provided to him or her, and which my father got, and that helped him survive. So now my father is doing much better, but the paralysis that came because of this stroke is not yet recovered, and it will take a lot of time. And one more thing I would like to point out is that when a stroke happens, the nutrient supply is kind of broken, right? And the cells are very sensitive inside the brain. So when the nutrients don't reach to the brain, oxygen for example, don't reach to the brain cells quickly die. They die within a fraction of a second. So, and this damage that happens after a stroke is permanent. There is no recovery to that damage that happens because of this lack of nutrition. So it is very unlikely that my father will return to the very normal life that he had before the stroke. So he'll have a good recovery, but the recovery of his brain will still not be complete. That's what I want to point out. So if you overlook these kind of problems, the damage is kind of permanent. It cannot be reverted, right? So why to get into this? So let's take care of our health. Let's not take these problems casually. Let's not play with the medicines, and let's try to have a healthy lifestyle. So if we have all these, then it is very less likely that anybody would suffer. During the period of like 10 days when my father was in the ICU, we were literally outside in the kind of like the corridor of the hospital where we were like, we had to sleep. We didn't have a facility to properly take rest. So we used to sit there throughout the day, and during night we used to sleep there by putting something upon the ground. During those days, I encountered at least 20 plus cases were due to the negligence in taking medicines. So this is a very, I realize that this is a very common problem, and this should be talked about. So I urge you that if you have any member in your family, maybe your father, mother, maybe your grandfather, maybe your uncle, anybody, or auntie, or whatever, whosoever it is, or even your neighbor also, like if you know that they're suffering from these kind of problems, just let them know the consequences are very heavy. They're not just heavy in terms of health, they're not just heavy in terms of mental trauma, they're also heavy in terms of monetary expenses. During this entire stroke period, our family suffered a burden of more than 9 lakhs. And for a middle class family like ours, 9 lakhs is a huge amount. And had it been a slightly poorer family, they would have suffered a lot more. So this is not a small thing to just ignore. I strongly urge that you take care of these people. If you're one of those who should take care of yourself, please do that. Thank you for watching for so long, and I hope I did make some important points very clear, and I do believe that this will have at least some impact in your life or in the life of some of your associates. Thank you for watching. Thank you.